Greetings, everyone. This is Sangeetalaurabiagi. Thank you for joining me as we explore this full moon in Libra occurring on the 5th or 6th of April, depending on your location. And it's a powerful moon that is teaching us quite a bit about our personality. So, what is the personality? The word itself, personality, comes from the Latin persona, which was the mask of the Greek theater. Greek-Roman theater. So the personality is the type of presence, appearance that we choose, we curate to interact in society. So we all perform our identity through our personality. So while the identity is a sense of self, a sense of the id, a sense of self that we have inside, the personality is how we choose to share our identity with others. So, of course, while our identity is the same, even though it's fluid and it can also transform as we become more aware and grow up, the personality is always a performance. And the sign of Aries, where the sun currently is a sign that tells us in our chart and also in the archetypal chart, tells us a bit about our choice of personality. It corresponds to the first house in the archetypal chart. So our personality also depends very much on our ascendant or the ascending constellation at the time of our birth. Depending on the ascendant, our personality will have specific qualities that are the qualities of that constellation, of that sign. But in general, now the sun is in Aries, and at the time of this full moon in Libra, it is conjunct Chiron and Jupiter. The sun is also shedding its light fully on the moon at 180 degrees from the sun. This is always the aspect of the full moon when the sun and the moon are opposite, with the earth in the center. So we see the sun on one side, the moon on the other, and we see them both shining fully. And I always remind my students how amazing it is that because of our location on this planet, on the earth, we can see the sun and the moon having similar size from the point of view of the earth, while we know very well that the moon is way smaller than the sun, but the sun is proportionally further away in the sky, so they look similar in size. So when we have a full moon, the sun and the moon are similar in size, in shape, with two very different qualities of light. The sun being electric, oftentimes traditionally called masculine in the Greco-Roman system, and the moon being feminine, being magnetic. We will not use a masculine and feminine necessarily, but more electric magnetic. So by understanding the sun and the moon, we understand the electromagnetic field that we live in. The teachings of Tantra, of Yoga Maharishi Dr. Swami Kitanandagiri, we also learn that the sun and the moon correspond to specific energies in our bodies, physical body, emotional body, mental body, as well as our psychic bodies. So with the full moon, we have an opposition of sun and moon in the sky and a polarization. This polarization is felt really strongly, particularly now where the sun is also conjunct Chiron. Chiron is a psychic energy of healing, of health and healing, and Jupiter, which corresponds in Jyotish astrology to the guru. So the sun is conjunct to the great planet, the benevolent, the Guruji, the great teacher. So it's a time for teachings. We're receiving teachings from our higher self, from our inner teacher, and the inner teacher's location psychically is in our heart. So this full moon has a lot to do about our heart, the truth of the heart, what is true for us right now, what is important for us right now. and also what needs to heal. Now, the verb heal, just as the words health or wholesomeness or healing come from a similar root, a Proto-Germanic, Old Germanic root, which means to feel whole. So healing is the process, is a dynamic process, just like health, of attaining and maintaining a sense of balance. So this full moon returns the light to the sun, because the sun is sending light to the moon, and the moon is returning the light to the sun to make us aware of where in our personality we need to bring some balance. For example, if we have some aspects of our personality that are too much in one way and too little in one way, we may need to create a joyous, loving, conscious effort to balance. So if you're very introspective and more aloof, it's time to go out and be more social. If you're overtly social, it may be a good time to come in and do some introspective self-awareness. Or if you're working too much, working too little. If you're the hours of action are way bigger than the times of rest, vice versa, So we need to find this balance that is uniquely your own. You know what works for you and what is best for you. But the full moon is shedding light on our need to heal and to feel whole in specific aspects of your life. So find out which ones they are. These are a couple of days. The full week actually could be dedicated to some self-awareness in this sense. And also to listen to the heart, listen to this guru inside, to this teacher inside. Guru, originally from the Sanskrit, is a term that refers to dispelling the darkness, bringing light to darkness. And so bring some light in your heart and realize, okay, this is what I need to correct, this is what I need to adjust. And also, of course, because all of this is in Aries, so how is this reflecting? How is this reflected in your personality? How do you show yourself? How do you perform yourself? How do you present yourself? And because the full moon is in Libra, Libra is a sign, so it's a quality that refers to the capacity we have to be in society. It is how we perform the personality of Aries, but in society. So in society means online, in your online presence, in your social media, as well as in your family, in your community, in your place of work. How do you perform this personality socially? And is this the best you can do for your good and for the good of humanity at this time? So, of course, Libra ruled by Venus and Aries is ruled by Mars. The two are really opposite each other, but also truly in need of an integration. So this is a very auspicious time to contemplate how the polarities in you are also balancing. And again, if you need some healing or wholesomeness, how could you achieve those? And we also have in the chart some important aspects in Taurus. Mercury, the planet that is the symbol of the psychic energy of thought, particularly rational thought, what in yoga we would call the chit and the manas. So both the subconscious and rational, irrational thinking, as well as the quality of mind that is able to think about itself. So the self-reflective mind. Mercury is conjunct the north node of the moon. This corresponds to Rahu, or the point of Dharma. So where we're heading as a species, as a humanity, as living beings on this planet. So the reflection on the personality is not just for you and for your immediate community, but also what are you bringing to humanity right now, and is what you bring not only needed, but good for humanity? Are you bringing things that are for the betterment of humanity and for the betterment of the planet, the safeguard of the planet, of the environment? What is the impact that your personality has on the planet? And if it is harmful, can you modify it? And if it is good, can you amplify it? So really important beginning of the astrological year with Aries, beginning the astrological year in the Greco-Roman Babylonian system of astrology, following the March equinox, which began with the most powerful new moon in Aries, conjunct, of course, happening at around the same time of the equinox, and also corresponding to the Mahashivaratri, of course, in India. So that was the beginning, the new moon, the beginning of the Aries season. And now with the full moon, we are really bringing some of the contemplations we've had, the reflections we've had to light, so we can share them with others. So as always, a final note is that while astrology and also specific teachings of yoga help us in our journey of self-awareness and ultimately peace and enlightenment, it is ultimately our responsibility to take action. It's our responsibility to choose the life we want to live and to do our best to live a life of peace and harmony with others and the planet. So yoga and astrology are not a crutch, and they're not a substitute for your own responsibility. So reflect on these teachings and do your best to be your best. So if you would like to learn more about yoga and astrology, I'm delighted to share with you the news that I will begin an online course, level 1 basic course on the relationship between yoga and astrology. Of course, the two systems are intercultural because I bring together the system of Western astrology. I was born and raised in Italy. I am currently in Italy, so I am very familiar with the system here, and the system of Tantra and Raj Yoga from the Parampara of Yoga Maharishi Dr. Swami Gitananda Giri Guru Maharaj, that brings together two great lineages. One is the Bengali Tantric tradition, and the other one is the Tamilian Shaiva Siddhanta system, both Tantric systems, specifically from Sanatana Dharma, from the great Bharatya, so from India. So the two systems come together in my experience, and this is how the course and these particular readings are scheduled and organized. So if you'd like to learn more about this online course, you will find more information in the video. The course is online and will begin on April 19th, on the eve of the second new moon in Aries. Very powerful. It's rare to have two new moons in the same sign, but not only that, we'll also have an eclipse when we have the new moon, so that will happen on the 20th. And the course will begin on the eve of this great event and will last for 8 weeks. It will be recorded, so if you're seeing this video after the fact, you can always contact me to receive the recordings. So with that, again, let's do our best to be our best and bring good. Just bring a smile to another person's face, to another person's heart. Bring some warmth. And that's a big gift that we can give, seemingly simple, but very important. With that, much love to everyone. Namaste, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you for your likes and shares. Bye-bye.